So, good morning or good night, depending on where you are in the world, and welcome to another album review of The Chill Dude on a Couch. I'm your host, Hector, and today we're going to talk about the brand new album by the band IOTA, and it's called Pentasomnia. And it's the band's second album and their first album in roughly 16 years. Their last album, Tales, came out in 2008. So for those of you that don't know IOTA, they're a band from Salt Lake City, Utah, and they play psychedelic rock. The first album was more in the sludge field, but this new album, it's more about psychedelic and spacing. So it's 5 songs, and the 5 songs are dedicated to dreams. So there are 5 separate dreams, and that's what the album title means. Pentasomnia roughly translate to 5 dreams. And the songs, it's not a concept album per se. Like every song doesn't go like, it's not like a huge dream and every song goes into the other. No, they're separate dreams. So they have 5 songs. The first one's called The Intruder, The Witness. Then you have The Returner, The Timekeeper, and it ends with The Great Dissolver. And it's a 32-minute album, so it goes by fairly quickly. You have longer songs like The Intruder and The Returner, which are like 7.5 to 8 minutes in length, and then you have songs that are like in the 5 to 6 minutes with The Timekeeper, The Witness, and The Great Dissolver is the shortest track at like 3.5 minutes. So something that this album does really well is harmonizing. Everyone sings in the band, so I think the singing and the harmonizing helps to the feeling of it being like a dream, because sometimes the vocals are a little bit echoey, so it does sound like you're falling asleep and you're listening to that soothing sounds. Also, the psychedelic feel to the guitars, the bass, it sounds very retro. It sounds like a mixture of a 70s prog rock band with psychedelic meets more of like the 90s style and the beginning of the 2000s. And I like that because it gives it that like retro feeling. For example, The Intruder, the beginning of the song, the singing, on that song, Joey Toscano, the singer, really channels Jim Morrison to me. It does feel like a song like The End by The Doors, and the way he's crooning and singing, and it opens up the album in a great way. But then something that the band does well is like they can pull back and start with like what it feels like a jam, and it sounds very loose, and the instruments really give that psychedelic feel in like the guitars. The guitars are spacey. Sometimes there's some like those like psychedelic type of like soloing that you remember like bands from the 70s like a Pink Floyd when they did stuff like that. And it's very important to note that this album, they recorded this album live from 2018 to 2019. So first what they did is they jammed the music, so it felt like a long jam. So when it came time to do the lyrics, which were done somewhere around 2021 2022, the band joked that they couldn't remember playing these songs, and that's why where the theme of dreams came about. So at first they didn't know this was going to be about dreams. So I haven't delved right into the lyrics, but I think like every song, it's like a different entity in a dream. For example, The Intruder, it could be interpreted like a dream where someone is like intruding on you and you feel uneasy, and I think that's some part of the song where you feel that. Then you have like a song like The Timekeeper, which that's my favorite song on the album. I think that one has more up-tempo type of riffing to it, and again the harmonizing is so good, and it just feels like a song that you could like listen to it and really go on a trip with them. So yeah, it's all based loosely. There's not like a running theme through every song to every song, but it's very enjoyable. So to me, the highlights of this album are like the singing, the harmonizing, and I like a lot of like the psychedelic playing. the bass really shines on songs like The Returner and The Timekeeper. There's a part there with a cool bass solo that really shines. And this is an album that I think should be heard from beginning to end as an experience, because every song is really good, and it's really a 32-minute journey that has a high replay value for me. So if you want to know more about this album, I actually interviewed Joey Toscano, and we talked more about the concept of the album, dreams, and how the album was made. So if you haven't heard IOTA, I would recommend this to people who like those psychedelic bands. If you like Sword, if you liked old prog rock and sludge, I think you would like this. It's a very entertaining listen, and it's an album that I think this is like that album that you play where you want to hear like a flowing jam, because that's what it feels like. It feels like a flowing jam from song 1 to song 5. So comment, what are your favorite tracks from Pentasomnia by IOTA? And if you like the videos that I'm putting out, do not forget to subscribe, and do not forget to give me a like. That helps me with the YouTube algorithm to get to more people like yourselves. So until next time, people, this is Hector, the Shield Dude on a couch, and I'll see you all right here on the couch. Thank you and goodbye.